Welcome back.
Welcome back. It is almost Thanksgiving here in the United States.
Some people may have already had it.
Yeah, and some
They had it
people
last
don't
weekend.
have it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I remember when we had our foreign exchange student, he was like, "What is this about?" But
Yeah.
he loved it. He loved it. So,
Well, a lot of countries have their own Thanksgiving, obviously.
but
You
a
know,
different,
a different time of the year.
or
Yeah.
call it something a little different.
Right.
So, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
What I'm looking forward to the most is dessert, and specifically a dessert that my sister makes that is just so. I think it's called Death by Chocolate, which maybe you guys have had this. It's so chocolatey good, yum. But food wise, it would be it's the stuffing for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I could just put on my plate the stuffing and the green bean casserole
Okay.
and call it good.
Okay. Well, so we are doing a small Thanksgiving on Thursday,
Yep.
which I know the stuffing will be great because my mom's making it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite stuffing. And then,
Well, my favorite stovetop. So
oh, jeez. And then Saturday, your daughter is bringing green bean casserole to the festivities. So,
I bet she's probably good at that.
I mean, it's really easy, but also,
I don't know how to make it.
yeah. So, and what are you looking forward to like this weekend?
Less than I normally do
Okay.
because we are on a streak here. We live in Michigan. We are big football fans. This is Michigan Ohio State weekend.
And we have our Thanksgiving with your family
On that day.
Yeah.
And we have a streak going. Ever since we started having Thanksgiving there, we have not lost to the Buckeyes. So for you Buckeyes listening, I'm sorry, but I do not like you right now. I will start liking you again on Sunday. But yeah, we got a streak going. Now, we all have
it's
a
not
pretty
looking
good
good.
idea of what this Saturday is going to be. So I'm just holding on to it. You still haven't beat us in a couple of 1,000 days, which is fun because we went through about a 10-year spell. So,
Yeah.
so no, I'm looking forward to seeing family. We're not going to have everybody there this year, which is a bummer. But I'm really looking forward to hanging out. We got a pretty fun family when we get together, and it should be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday also because
Oh, me too.
Friday we're
Yes.
gonna go and get our tree.
Yep.
And that always turns into some sort of debacle.
Yeah.
Also fun.
But we don't have a lot of like our immediate family traditions. We have
Right.
some, but this just happened to be one. I don't know why
Yeah.
it did, but
Yeah.
we
We've
just
brought
done
a lot of extras along over
We
the
have.
years. And now Adam is a part of it, and Sydney's fiance. Whew.
Yep.
And yeah, so it's just fun. And last year we
Mm-hmm.
ended up with a huge tree, like way too big, huge tree.
Yeah, we will again.
So
If your brain's anywhere else right now, it's wrong.
I did just order some more Christmas lights, so
Okay, good.
I know that's probably heading.
They
our
don't
way.
look as big in the field, to be fair.
Like we have 2 Christmas tree farms right
Yeah.
with like in a couple miles of us, so we get a live tree every year. And you're right, I will say that you kind of when you're comparing it to the sky,
Yeah.
it seems
Right.
like it's fine. The problem for me, I mean, we have high ceilings, so it's not so much the height; it's how wide it is.
That's what the difference was last year.
Yeah,
It was really wide.
it was really big. So
Didn't
so
do that
anyway.
intentionally. Wait, we gotta go back. What's your favorite food?
Mine is for sure the stuffing. And I really look forward to some leftovers too, which I don't know if I'll get much in terms of leftovers this year because we're not hosting. Like a good turkey sandwich, like one good turkey sandwich after the fact is.
Ooh, I want 6.
Okay.
I want 6 good turkey sandwiches. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you put on your turkey sandwich?
Usually Miracle Whip, and
I would like that, I'm sure.
what do you put on yours?
Butter and mustard.
Oh gosh.
Is that weird? Oh, okay.
I don't. I mean, yeah. I Again, I'm not picking on the people of Ohio, but your Ohio roots are showing through.
Don't say that to them. I'm not from Ohio.
Your mom.
Okay, I'm not.
Was from Ohio.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, whenever it comes out to be just like straight, let's eat butter or salt.
That's true. Both. I love
Those
both.
are your roots.
And my daughter's the same.
Yes. Yeah. I made this dinner the other night with steak tips, and you loved it. It was
so good.
And I tasted it. It was so salty.
No, it wasn't.
It just seemed
I
like...
think that was just a weird night for you.
Oh.
It wasn't overly salty.
It was pretty salty, folks. But I like...
I don't like things
sweet.
overly salty.
I like sweet more than salty, so anyway, that
true.
just makes us different.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right. Let's talk a little bit about patient experience.
Oh, boy.
You guys, taking
So
a
tell
deep
them what your
breath.
morning was.
So I had a colonoscopy this morning, and trying to stay on top of just routine healthcare things. I had scheduled it a while ago, and I did it at my local hospital, and I kind of debated.
You had to get one early because the screening.
Yeah, I
cancer.
did. I started when I was 40, so this was my 50, a couple years late one, so my every 10 years. The first one I did in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan, and I don't remember it being anything, no big deal. Mm-hmm. But I just thought, because it's no big deal, we'll just do it locally. Yep. It's a lot easier, obviously. So I got in there this morning, and the first thing they said to me, then I don't even know if she was she wasn't an RN, but she was like, do you have to use the bathroom? I was like, yep. And she then said, oh, wait, you're 52? I said, yeah. She goes, oh, you need to do a pregnancy test. I said, what?
That's not her fault.
I know.
Okay, let's just be clear.
She goes, you're not 55 and you haven't had your ovaries out, or you haven't had a hysterectomy. And I was like, no, but I'm 52 and I've been in menopause since I was 26 because of my,
Which should have...
Which she just went, oh, well, but you're not 55.
Yeah, she doesn't have
any kind of power or knowledge. I wouldn't even be surprised if she was kind of filling in. It was a little crazy back there today.
Close to holidays. Yeah.
Yes. So, and she was young. And I just went, you have got to effing be kidding me. I was ticked. That's if you've listened, that's my trigger, right? And I was not expecting it this morning.
Right.
So I peed in this stupid cup, and I was just really upset about it. Anyway,
You peed in the cup?
I did. Because I didn't know that there was any other. I wasn't going to go home. I'd done all the prep for this colonoscopy.
I never would have peed in the cup. Never.
Why? What do you mean?
Because of just how you feel about that. I agree with you.
No, I know.
There's zero chance you're pregnant.
I didn't know what the other option was, and I'd just done 24 hours of prep for a colonoscopy.
Ooh, that hurts.
I was not going to redo this. It's not like I was going to walk out.
I would have said, give me the president of the hospital.
I did say, I said, I will be talking to your administration. I actually said, I know that you can't control this, but I will be talking to your administration.
Yeah, but doctors control that.
Okay, so anyway.
Let's get to the doctor.
Well, we didn't, hang on. I get into my little bay, and I get changed, and RN comes in, and she says something, and I am just short answering things, pissed. And she said something that made me go, yeah, and I shouldn't have to be doing a pregnancy test. That's a huge trigger for me. And she goes, oh, you can sign a waiver. I said, give me the waiver. And I said, and then keep it in my chart, for God's sakes. I will sign away my liability at all points, but I hate that you do this to people. And she's like, she was fine. She was good about it. She let me and then that was it. I thought, okay, good. We're making progress. In comes the doctor to do kind of the talk about the exam type of thing. Okay, now I'm going to sound really old because he looked like he was 18.
He did. He did. He looked like Doogie Howser for all of you guys out there
who don't
that are
know,
old like us.
Yeah, that don't,
Yes.
yeah. He looked like he was 18. And he's like, "Hi, I see that you're pretty healthy, except for some heart issues." And I said, "And metastatic breast cancer?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, but are you still metastatic?" He asked me if I was still metastatic. I went,
Trigger.
I go, "You're always metastatic," and he went, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And then he launched into, I said something about, I don't know. We got on the fact that I was 26 when I was diagnosed. He then tells me, "Yeah, I had a really good friend who was 26," and launches into the same, I'm not going to say it for you folks, because we don't talk about this stuff. And I am looking at
But a story that doesn't end well.
But a story that doesn't end well, and
Sure.
how hard it was on him, and how hard it was, and it was really hard on us too, he said. And I just went, I looked at him and said, "Can we talk about what we're doing today?" I was furious at this point because I had mentioned, I think the pregnancy thing maybe got brought up in that, just saying like, that's a huge trigger for me. And all
With the doctor?
With the doctor also. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But then he ends with that. And I just looked at him and I said, "Let's talk about what we're doing today." And he was, I think, didn't know what else to do.
He was young. He's inexperienced, obviously, in bedside manner or possible trigger. They do not deal with metastatic patients a lot.
I know.
Doing in his field what he does. That's the truth. He had one patient today, by the way.
Oh, really? I was the only one?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I know.
So this is the other thing this is what makes me go, I'll drive 2.5 hours to be at a hospital where I'm not an anomaly or people know what the word metastatic means.
Yeah.
Like, I can't handle that kind of stuff. When I'm educating you, there's a problem. I don't care what degree is beyond your name. Like, that's a big issue for me. And I do remember that at the very beginning when I was first diagnosed, all of, the diagnostic part of it, everybody just was like, "Oh, you're too young." And like, I was such an anomaly. And when I got to the University of Michigan, they were like, "Take a seat next to the other 100 anomalies." It just doesn't throw them. They're much more versed in it. I would say more professional. All of those kind of things. It just really, it makes a big difference.
I equate it like there is absolutely not enough training.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call it training.
Yeah.
In med school, in whatever post-med school schooling that they're doing. It's their PD.
Yeah.
And I got to believe they're ridiculously busy, doctors, surgeons, all of this, and then they got to go to this mandatory whatever, and they sitting there and they're probably typing up notes from their surgery that they just did while this person's talking, and it kind of goes over their head. And I get it because their job's to fix people. Yeah. That's what they went to school for 8 years, 10 years, even longer than that, to fix people, to diagnose, to do these surgeons, especially surgeons. And that part just is like, can't somebody else do that? I'm saving your life. And I know that's their attitude. I watch them, and I'm so impressed what they can do with the scalpel and with the other instruments, because a lot of people can't do that. So I'm just very thankful that they can do that. But, the first thing I said to you was, this is why you need to keep doing this. Yeah. You need to educate people because of the platform that you can stand on. Yeah. Other people can say this till they're blue in the face, and it just doesn't mean as much coming from someone who's just had, literally at this point, thousands of experiences with these, and gone negative, and the why behind it.
Right, the why behind it. And I'm a health care provider.
Sure.
I understand
you have both sides of that
you can do that differently in the same amount of time. It doesn't cost you any
more time. It can be a people industry.
It can be. And... Yeah. Well, it was great that you kind of said that in terms of just helping me refocus on, this is about patient experience. And even when we talk about patient experience in the big, like in the hospitals and as an industry, we're talking about more how to make my experience better. But we're not very often talking about really what the doctors are saying to us specifically.
We're not.
So we just got to keep going with all of that. And the impact is so
And this
huge.
is just one little part of it. I mean, we've talked before on this program and about how their words having to do with the cancer and having to with what they saw or what they didn't see or what that means or how those words are just so unbelievably
and how
impactful.
you never forget them.
Yeah, this is not even in that realm.
No.
This is just, you're effing annoying me.
Well, just
this doesn't have to happen.
Putting the dagger in my heart.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to do this. I get all your lawyer bullshit. I'll sign away all of my liability, but quit doing this to me. Quit reminding me of everything I've lost and everything, that
when you feel like you have to go into any kind of an appointment with a 2-page thing that they must read before speaking to you. It's that.
Well, just to understand, a little bit about me. Like, see me as a person.
That's the key.
Just
make it a people industry. Much more. And we have experienced that, by the way. We have been to hospitals. Yeah. I don't want to name, but that almost nail it. Yeah. No one's perfect by any means because people get hired at places. It's not the place. It's the people within the place. And nobody's perfect. I don't know how you could be perfect in this world today.
Right.
But boy, they're really good. They understand the people part of this.
I think you can name them by.
Well, it's Mayo Clinic in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Just unbelievably phenomenal when it comes to the people part of this.
But they've also really worked on some of their processes to make things better.
Yes.
One of the things that has whenever you go to a surgery, you get up early, you get there early, all those kind of things. I'm not a morning person. Mm-hmm. At Mayo, you just get into the line for when they told you to be there. So you're not looking around the room like I was even this morning. We got there 15 minutes before we were supposed to. 2 people were already there ahead of me, and my name was the first one on the list. Mm-hmm. But those people were then in front of me. And again, it's not a huge thing, but it is one of those things where when you feel like, nope, I'm where I'm supposed to be in the time I'm supposed to be, it takes away some of that stress of,
Yeah, and they're doing 15 surgeries at this hospital we were at.
Right.
Mayo's doing hundreds of them every day.
But
they figured it out.
Yeah, they figured
it out. And it's just way smoother at the place that's doing hundreds.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just eases your anxiety. And that's where I just wish people would understand or could the correlation between patients' anxiety being less and their day going smoother is 100%.
It's huge.
If I'm not anxious, if they hadn't pissed me off right at the start, I would have been very nice today. Instead, I was very short with that. I mean,
that's human nature. Once we get triggered, everything else from your end, from your side, it's going to be harder for you to deal with me.
Yes.
And in education, it's the same.
Right.
I trigger students or students trigger me early on. It is going to be contentious for a little while till we both calm down.
Until you can get your, back to regulated.
But if that's the focus, that's why I try to say hello to every student who comes into my room and ask them how they're doing, that kind of thing, because I want to lower that and ramp it up from there if I need to or whatever. But patient experience is so unbelievably important in.
And I feel like the surveys ask all the wrong questions.
I don't disagree with that. I haven't done as many as you, but we talk a lot about the mental side of healing, the mental side of that. Yeah. Well, think about the state you're putting a patient in.
Yep.
When that is not the state they're going to. With anxiety comes blood pressure. With blood pressure, all of these states of a patient being in a healing state. Yeah. Wow, it's so important, but the brain is not something that we're working on today, so it doesn't really matter. And
also it just kind of is like, it feels to me like, you should just get over that. That's just the way we do things. And it's like, but you could do them better.
You could.
And
it doesn't cost any more money.
Exactly.
For a OR, what is it called? Prep room.
Like the surgery prep?
Prep, yeah.
Yeah.
For you to be treated like it's a spa.
No, I
It doesn't cost another dime.
Yeah.
Think about when you come into a spa and how they talk to you and where they have you sit and then what they have you do and how they speak. And it doesn't cost a dime more
Yeah.
for that, and think about your experience now
Yeah.
going into a anxiety-ridden surgery for most people, high anxiety.
Well, and even I'll go back to it, and I'll props to Mayo. One of the first surgeries I had out there, the anesthesiologist came in and he's like, "Are you a coffee drinker?" And I said,
Oh, right.
"Yeah."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm going to give you caffeine because we don't want that headache on top of you waking up from the." And I just was like, "Wow,
This is legal?
Thanks for thinking of me."
This is legal?
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
And he said, "You could have had your coffee, but that's okay. I just wanted to check." And I just thought, oh my goodness, you want my outcome today to be not the result of a caffeine headache.
Yeah.
And you know that there's a simple way to handle this. And I was like...
You've thought more about just than a piece of muscle. You're a person, and how would I want to feel, and how would I want to be treated, and how would I...
Yes.
But, you know what? I mean, just the truth of this is... hospitals have to hire people, and the people in Minnesota are the right people that we're talking about when we're saying this. How do you want to be treated?
Yeah.
The state of Minnesota has nailed it.
They're
just the nicest people on the face of the earth.
It is so funny that
isn't it true though?
It is so true, and it's funny because in the last 5 years I feel like I've spent more time in different states in the Midwest than I have in 25 years, right? And we've spent some time in Minnesota because of friends and because of Mayo. I've lived half my year in Indiana. My daughter's been in Illinois. All of these things, and I'm like, oh no, we're all different. Like our Michigan to Indiana to Illinois to Minnesota. I don't know. Wisconsin, you're somewhere in the middle.
Good beer.
Good beer, lots of cheese.
Thank you for that stop.
Yes, exactly.
You have unbelievable gas stations.
Quick Trip.
Boom. Best ever.
That'd be great. First sponsorship is from Quick Trip.
Madison's really nice.
Do you like Madison?
I feel like we're leaving them out. So.
I have nothing bad to say about Wisconsin. I just haven't been able to judge. I can't put the people into into categories the same way I feel like I can in the other places.
No, but I'm just to go back to that. They're hiring the people. They're not all from their community, but a lot of the people who staff who are those entry level people that you deal the most with.
Yeah.
They're from Minnesota. They live around there. They work around there. They're good people.
Yeah. I think there's also some prestige to working there, right?
I hope so.
And I hope that they treat their employees
so.
right, and in that, it is a place that people want to come and do their best. But man, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And our oncologist told us that, for example, the University of Michigan, they study them.
Yeah.
They want to have a good patient experience. And would you say the University of Michigan, for example, has gotten better in 25 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say that. And again, how do I say this nicely? I mean, the professionalism of Michigan is top notch.
Yeah.
I would. There's. You feel like you are in good hands at all times. I would say there. Like you're not. Sometimes the delivery isn't the best, and that's where Mayo is kind of like we got both, right? You feel like you're in good hands, and the delivery is good. But I think Michigan has gotten better, and I have the privilege of being on the patient family advisory committee for the cancer center, and I do know, I mean, that this stuff does really matter to them, and with any big place, there's a lot of bureaucracy. I have trouble with that word, and just it takes time to get the wheels turning on things, but more and more I think they are looking for the right input.
I think so too.
And
she told us they were. She told us they studied them. They've taken trips out there and spent time out there to see what is that. How are they doing that? How does that? And good. That's what you said. The fact is though, the clientele you're hiring are assholes. We're assholes in Michigan.
Yes.
I'm just telling you right now, compared to Minnesota.
We're a lot tougher. We have a lot more of an edge to us. We have a lot more of an edge. We're a little more like...
That's not what we want in a hospital.
Yeah.
As patients, we don't want that. We want sweet, nice, and that's just Minnesota.
Well, we've thought of you before you've gotten here. And I think that's what Minnesota's like a hospitality state, right? Like they're good
Sure.
at, like, how can we take care of you? Michigan's a little more like, we'll get the job done.
Bring a hot dish. That's what Minnesota's going to do.
Oofta.
Oofta.
Oh my gosh, you guys, if you're still listening.
No one's listening at this point.
Oh man. All right, so before for the two of you who are left,
and they're like mowing the lawn. They can't turn it off right now. They're trying.
Exactly. They're like, oh my gosh, just get me through my run. Okay. I have opened an Etsy store. So, I'm just trying to get products out that would be something that you might like. A lot of things say I'm still here on them. We'll continue to make more products. So it's on.
If you are wanting a product that you don't see on there, please let Heather know.
Yeah, you can. So you can go to my website, heatherjost.com, and you'll find the link to be able to get to the Etsy store. I am only as tech savvy as I can be, so I can't.
It's so hard.
Figure out how to get all of the products on. But anyway, they're there. You can find them. So right underneath.
And it's easy. You just click on it. It's very easy.
All the downloads, and there's more download stuff coming too. So I want to be able to provide things that are helpful to you. Number one, that's why the 5 to Thrive guides were so important to us, and I have a lot more ideas with that. But I also just wanted to be able to get you some stuff that where you felt seen, and I would love to be able to do more of that. So let me know what you would like, and we'd love it. We'd be so appreciative if you could support us in that way. We don't make a dime from sitting in these chairs and hanging out with y'all, and we're happy to do that. But
probably shouldn't have made much today.
No, today maybe we should be paying you. So with that being said, I think the guides are $1 off right now. So there's your discount.
Boom.
But yeah, check that stuff out. So heatherjost.com, or it's I'm Still Here Cancer on Etsy, but honestly it's easier to Etsy's a big world, so to really find somebody in it is hard.
And I'd never heard of Etsy, so I'm new to this.
Yeah. So there's some things on the TikTok shop too, but oh Lord, TikTok is its own beast.
I don't have TikTok.
So anyway, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, we hope you have a really great, restful weekend. Make it what you want it to be. I thought our weekend was going to be pretty quiet. It looks like maybe there's a little more going on than I anticipated, but I'm here for it. Excited about it. But just know that you get to do you, right? Like, and spend some time maybe just being quiet and thankful for what you have, because sometimes it feels like not much is going right, especially this time of year. I feel like
for sure.
All right.
And reach out to somebody else that may be feeling that way if you're not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't have to be family for you to reach out and
we both appreciate our families. We don't see them a whole heaping lot, and we're also very grateful for our friends and the people that we kind of end up spending more of our time with. So, all right. Well, we'll be back next week. I'll keep you informed, but we might be taking a little bit of a break over Christmas. It's just hard to keep all the wheels turning. So, all right. We'll see you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Or not.